What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Evan, and in this video I am going to just be super real with you guys. This month has not been good for me. I have really been struggling trading. I still haven't blown any of my accounts, but I'm going to just be talking about my experience with these red days and how I've been sort of navigating them, even though I feel like I really haven't been doing a good job. But I'm just going to be really talking honestly and candidly about it. And yeah, and I'm also going to just go over my trades from last week so you guys can see sort of my mistakes and hopefully learn from them. And hopefully you'll be able to take um, away something from this video that you can apply to your own trading, that you can apply to your own process as well. And let's just jump in. First, we're going to look at my TradeZella. So this month, I am 5 and 10. Not great, but, I think the best part of this is that I still haven't blown my accounts. Like, even though I've taken, a lot more losses than wins because of my risk management. Even though this past week, which we will see from my first trades, I did kind of break my risk management rules a little bit. And I kind of feel like I tilted a little bit, but yeah, man, this trading is not easy. It's really not easy, and I think this month has really just kind of like it feels like it has felt like it's felt like a slap in the fucking face, dude. Like, I feel like sometimes I am like, oh, I figured it out. Like, I know how to do this. I know what I'm doing, and then like I just continue to kind of just fall back to my mistakes. But honestly, I have to remind myself that I'm still so early in this process. I'm still in my first year of doing this, and I technically am profitable. So I have to just kind of remind myself of that because it's very easy when you have this many red days to like get down on yourself, to feel like shit, to like really just like self-deprecate and like really feel crappy about yourself. And that honestly has been me. And I have felt awful about myself and about my trading and about my process this past week. This past week was low-key probably the hardest week of trading that I've ever gone through. Like, I just feel like I just couldn't really read the market, and I feel like I just couldn't really get a read on what price was doing. And like, I saw longs, I saw shorts, I was hesitating, I wasn't like entering my trades properly, and just it's been a mess, bro. It's been a mess. But I haven't blown any of my accounts. But yeah, let's jump into the charts. Let's jump into my trades. So first off, for those of you who haven't seen my videos, I'm just gonna show you what I typically have on my chart so you can follow it easier. So the purple line is the overnight VWAP, which is anchored to 3 p.m. Pacific. That's when the sort of session starts. And then the blue line is my New York VWAP, and that's anchored to the New York market open. And my bullish candles are blue, my bearish candles are black. I'm on the 2-minute time frame. This past week, I mostly traded ES and NQ, and I trade off of pivot levels. So this trade, actually, honestly, this was my first trade of the week. This was not a bad trade, but I'm going to tell you why this trade made me tilt and break my rules. So I marked out this pivot right here. You see it kind of tested it here, and it broke below it here, but held. And then I entered on the close above the VWAP. I entered a little bit early because I saw a lot of bullish momentum, so I didn't enter right at the candle close, but I entered right there with my stop below the low of the day. Now, so my stop was placed right here, okay? And if you guys don't know, stop orders are convert to once, if you have a stop order right here, okay? Once price hits that level, your stop order converts into a market order. So it's going to try to get the best price for you. So this right here, okay, was my stop loss. So had I gotten out right at that level, it would have been a $200 loss. Now, this candle shot down, so instead of stopping me out here, it stopped me out like right here. So instead of taking $200 loss, I took around like a $270 loss, which pissed me off. It made me mad, and because of that, I was like, you know what? I already kind of went more into my my daily loss limit than I wanted to. Let me just take another trade, risking another 140, so making the total daily loss limit of $400, if that makes sense. So instead of taking a $200 loss, I wanted I took a $260 loss, $270 loss, and was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll take another 130 risk trade, and that is exactly what I did. I entered again, risking around 140, and as you can see, I got stopped out right there. And even my entry, I entered early, there wasn't a clear close above the VWAP, and yeah, I got stopped out again. I literally got wicked out, and I'm not sure what price ended up doing. If I had to guess, it probably ran without me, because this was just not a good entry. But yeah, so then that is why this day was such a big red day, this 3K, because I basically took 2 trades, risking $400 on the day instead of $200, my usual. And the reason I'm breaking this down so slowly and clearly for you guys is because that was the start of the week, right? And I feel like when you start a week like that, it's just not, for me, I just feel like that Monday was just in my head for the rest of the trading week, which isn't good. You don't want to be in your head like that. But yeah, so I took 2 trades, took 2 losses on a Monday to start. What I should have done, I should have just, that first trade when I got wicked out and took a bigger loss than I had anticipated, I should have just called it there. But I was mad because, it was that it wasn't in my plan. And again, sometimes the stop loss, sometimes it happens like that. I haven't really had a big, I haven't really had that happen to me before like that. And I was just mad about it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it at this point. So that's what happened. Now, Tuesday was another loss, and because of another early entry. So I marked out this pivot, it broke below, and I was waiting for a close above. It never happened. I also entered early because ES on this same price action was already at the high of the day. I had a feeling that NQ was just kind of lagging behind a bit, so I entered a little early, and I got stopped out. And honestly, this is where I should have entered, and I still would have lost. So, this wasn't a terrible trade either. I did, again, just enter early. But yeah. Okay. This was just a random trade. There's really nothing here. There was no plan other than the fact that ES was just higher, and I was like, you know what? NQ will follow it. And it actually ended up doing that, but again, I didn't wait for the close above VWAP. I just took a random trade. This is what happens. So this is what happens when you have days like Monday, for me at least. So there's nothing really to do other than just look at how bad of a trade this was, truly. Should have waited for a close above the VWAP to enter long, but I didn't because I was chasing ES. Yep, and then now, at this point, my accounts were $800 away from blowing, so I was very in my head. I was like, you know what, I'm going to lose these accounts, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, just really getting in your head about it and really just kind of feeling like a piece of shit. And I guess, I don't know, man, it's tough because trading, losses are such a part of trading, and I've talked about this in my previous videos, but there's a difference between a good loss and a bad loss. This is a bad loss. There's no plan, there's no setup, I can handle good losses all day, right? A lot of times for my good losses, when I'm entering the trade, I already feel good. I already feel good about it, win or loss. And those are the trades, and those are the losses that I want to be taking. I don't want to be taking losses like this because they make me feel bad. they literally make me feel bad about myself. They make me feel like I don't know what I'm doing. They make me feel like a beginner, which I am, but still, like, I know better than to take a trade like this. This is a bad trade. And again, it's because of Monday and Tuesday just kind of bleeding into each other, and yeah. All right, Thursday. This was my first win of the week. This was actually a really, really, really solid trade. Kind of bounced back from the week. I marked out this pivot right here. It tested the overnight VWAP and the pivot level, and then I entered. I did not hesitate. I entered right on that candle closure. Stop loss at the high of the day, targeting a 2R. And this was a beautiful trade. This worked out very, very, very nicely. Basically caught the whole move. And yeah, it was in and out about, less than 25, 30 minutes. So yeah, this is a great trade. This is what I'm looking for. This is my setup. And yeah, and this was on ES. I just, so I'm filming this on Monday, and I actually hesitated today, and I missed an entry, and I ended up losing today as well. But yeah, so there is no hesitation here. As soon as that, pivot, break above, respecting the VWAP, close below, enter. Boom. Had I done that today on my long that I missed, I would have won, but I didn't, and I ended up taking another kind of random trade on RTY, which is a asset that I never trade, but I'll talk about that in next week's video, next week's recap. I'll talk about my trade that I took today, or maybe at the end of this video I'll just show you guys what I did, because why not? But yeah, this was a good trade. This was a solid trade, and let's look at Friday. So Friday, this was also a really, really great trade. I loved this trade. I loved this setup. I'm going to talk about this this box here in a second before I break down everything. But this was on YM. And the thing about this Friday trade is that I did not copy this trade, even though this was a great trade and a solid winner that would have brought my accounts kind of back, a little bit more in the green. I mean, not in the green, but I would have recovered a little bit more of the losses from this week. But because I didn't copy this trade, I only took this trade in one account. So, that also just kind of sucks, right? Kind of like it was a winning day, but I mean, look at the numbers, right? I only took it in one account versus had I just taken it in all accounts. But that's a copier issue, and that is fine. It's gonna happen. Well, actually, I don't know. I need to figure out. I need to figure out TradeSyncer. I think I'm gonna start using that. Right now, I've been using Apex Copier through NinjaTrader, and I don't know, man. It's just it's been fucking up, to say, I guess. Let me get some water. Okay. So as you can see, I had yesterday's VWAP on here, and as soon as I saw this, I was like, okay, I feel like longs are gonna be what I'm looking for. So when I first started trading, I would trade the 5 a.m. to 5:15 a.m. box. That is what this is. This is so this is basically just the 5 a.m. to 5:15 range. I just noticed this was actually how I primarily traded when I first started, and I actually really still like this. And I kind of marked it out on YM. I was looking at YM today also because NQ and ES on this day were just kind of running, and I don't like to really chase those when that's happening. I typically look at YM and RTY to see if they can potentially follow, which is exactly what happened. And I was also just seeing a lot of really good bullish price action from YM. So again, I have this VWAP here. I marked out this pivot, before that, this box, I typically I will wait for it to break above, and then I'll wait for it to come back and retest this midpoint, which is exactly what it did right there. And then I also this just is further confluence plus this pivot, and then the close above VWAP. This was such an easy trade for me. Even if it had lost, I would have honestly just been you know what, this was a good loss. This was a solid loss because this is a great setup. You know, I have 1, 2, 3 confirmations of like looking for longs. Yeah, I love this trade. I think I'm gonna start just having this on my chart again, because I really like, as you can see, like it really does just kind of respect these midpoints a lot, and yeah, and I think it's a great. It's just, I think it's just another thing I can have on my chart. Further confirmation, stuff like that. But yeah, that was Friday's trade. Was a winner, but again, small winner because I did not copy it correctly. Now, I am actually just going to say fuck it, and I'm going to pull up the trade that I took today on RTY so that I can show you guys what I did. But yeah, I think you know, shout out to my previous coach Lawrence. We talked a lot about losses during my coaching sessions, um, and like what I try to do on days where I lose is I try to treat myself. I'll like try to, you know, do something nice for myself, or you know, make someone else's day, right? So like if I go out to eat, like I'll genuinely, like genuinely, I will generally and genuinely, I'll generally like give them a bigger tip, or like, you know, just you know, or if I see, you know, if I see someone that needs something, I'll like try to help them out. I try to like give. I try to like, you know, because it makes me feel good. You know, if you have a losing day, I think, and if you have a losing day and mentally you're just like not in a great place, I think a great thing you can do is, you know, treat someone else, you know, maybe take someone out, you know, buy someone a drink, like, you know, reach out to someone that you haven't talked to in a long time, or I don't know. I think because trading, I feel like, is very like, it can be very lonely sometimes, and you know, it's just you and your computer, and unless you're in like a trading group or something like that, which I'm not. So, you know, trading can be very like lonely, and I think on those days where you're just kind of feeling down and feeling, you know, get together with some friends, hang out, treat yourself, treat others. I think it's great practice, and that's something that that Lawrence talks about all the time. Shout out to Lawrence. First, I'm going to show you the trade. I'll show you the trade that I missed, okay? I just missed this because I hesitated, all right? So there's a few pivot levels you could have played off of here. I was looking at this one. It clearly broke below, and then it closed above. I should have entered right here, but I didn't because I was still feeling like shorts were, you know, this was just selling pressure all day. So I purposefully didn't enter here, but as you could see, it kept going above. And so then what I was waiting for is I was waiting to enter back at this price, which was right here. I literally had a limit order placed. Like once this touch happened, I had a limit order placed right here. And then for whatever reason, I just took it off and was like, you know what, let me just wait. And as you can see, I like literally, it tapped it and then it ran. Like this is the trade that I was looking at. I actually had this long tool set literally all day. I had this long tool set. I was looking for, this was the trade that I was looking at. Would have barely been a drawdown, would have been in and out of this trade in 20 minutes for like a $270 winner. But I hesitated and I didn't take it for whatever reason. I don't know. And after that happened, and ES was also looking very bullish, I was like, okay. And YM was also looking very bullish. RTY was sort of the last indice that I was kind of waiting for to make a similar move. It was the only indice that wasn't above its VWAPs. So I took a long here with my stop loss at the low of the day. I was just targeting, I wasn't even targeting the high of the day. I was just kind of targeting these candles here. As you can see, I was initially, you know, in the green. I had further confirmation when it closed above VWAP. I was like, all right, this could work out, and it did not. And I got stopped out for just my daily, actually a little bit more, around like 240, 230 on all of my accounts. But yeah, so, you know, that was Monday's trade. That was the trade I took today. You know, again, I think I think I'm having a really difficult time when I hesitate and don't take the winning trade, and then I take another trade and I lose. Like, oh man, it's like, because in my mind it's not only that I lost, it's like a $400 swing essentially if I'm targeting a 1R. Like, I didn't take the $200 winner, but instead I took the $200 loser, right? So it's like a $400 swing, which is quite a bit for 50K accounts. So that's all right. I'm really excited for this week. I've been excited for this week. I don't know why I hesitated on this NQ trade today. Like, it truly was like textbook perfect. And yeah, there was multiple pivot levels I could have played off of. There was another one right here, retest. But yeah, it is what it is. I am trying to remind myself how early I am in this process, and if I continue to show up for myself, if I continue to make content like this and continue to learn from my mistakes and actually apply, the things that I'm seeing in these markups, I will continue to move my accounts forward. I'll continue to grow as a trader. But yeah, man, these videos aren't really easy to make either, right? Like, I feel like, it's easy to make those videos where, I am super in the green and I have won, like in July, like I was, look at this. I was killing it in July. And those videos were like really easy to make. It was like, oh, look at all my winners. But I think these videos that I'm making when I'm losing are actually more important because, it's not all sunshine and rainbows with trading, and I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna fuck up. And that's just a part of the process. But I think the most important part is continuing to show up for myself, right? And, and like I really envisioned this account to be just sort of a kind of a living, breathing example and diary of my journey, right? So when I am, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, when I'm taking like, having 10K payout weeks or, six figure years, 6-figure months potentially, like, I'm gonna look back at these videos and really be like, it's gonna be really interesting, I think, especially, for you guys to see the process of what becoming a profitable trader looks like, because, I know without a doubt that I'm on the right path and that I'm going to be able to change my life financially from this. But, this is the ugly part. This is the ugly stuff that, not a whole lot of, I feel like, people maybe share, but I am just trying my best to be as transparent as possible with this process and just show that, no, it's not an easy process. No, it's not, this is not a get-rich-quick thing, bro. Trading is not a get-rich-quick thing. I think it is a get-rich-quick slow if you continue to show up and continue to learn and grow, which is exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, I started this week red. My trades haven't shown up in TradeZella yet, but if I could end these last 4 days green, that would be great. But you know what? I might end these 4 days red and blow my accounts this week, and that's okay. I don't know. I feel like there's been a flip in me. I actually ended up buying, I haven't spent money on prop firms in about 3 months. I've been trading these Apex accounts for some time, and I think, so last week when I was like, oh man, I'm about to blow these Apex accounts, like right now, if we go over to my Tradevate, you're going to be able to see that I haven't blown the accounts yet, but I am very much in drawdown, and I think last week I was really just in my head about it because I've been trading these accounts so long, and, like the thought of losing them all at once because I'm copying them really made my stomach turn. So after this trading day, I was just kind of I felt like because I was so close to blowing these accounts, it was kind of fucking me up because I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose all these accounts and then what? So what I actually did Wednesday night is I bought a bunch of instant funded accounts with Top One. And the reason I did this was, one, so that if I do blow my Apex accounts, which is it's very possible that I'm going to blow these accounts. But, if I do that, I have more accounts, and it's okay. And I can buy these accounts, and it's okay, because I'm still in the green. I haven't spent money on prop firms in about 3 months because I've been trading these Apex accounts for so long. So what I did do, I spent $800, and I bought 5 top 1 accounts. So as you can see here, these are all fresh funded accounts that are waiting for me. I have 6 of them. This top 1 account is the account that I've been trading. I've been trading this account for probably about 3 months as well. As you can see, I'm it's basically a fresh account as well. But and that gave me so much more confidence. I don't know what that's about, but I was just kind of like, you know what? If I blow these Apex accounts, that's okay. I can have a fresh start with these accounts, come back in swinging. But yeah, I haven't traded these. I don't plan on touching these until I need to. So these are just kind of sitting there. And again, I haven't really spent money on props in about 3 months because I've been trading these Apex accounts so slowly. So, and I'm in the green. Since I've started, I'm about like 5 or 6K in the green. This prop firm game is just different. And also for me, like as someone that has taken payouts, I don't want to waste my time with evals. So top 1 had a really good deal. I got 5 fully funded accounts for like $800. So if I take 1 payout in one of these accounts, they basically pay for themselves. But I'm definitely gonna set up TradeSync so that I'm able to copy these easy at some point. But yeah, this was a little bit of a longer video because I just kind of really wanted to break down where I'm at mentally with my journey, and just kind of share with you guys the the ups and the downs, right? I don't want my channel to just be about like the green and the winning days. Like these videos I think are actually more important to just kind of really share with those of you that might also be struggling trading, and just zoom out. It's a long game what we're doing, okay? And if you continue to learn and continue to show up for yourself, 3 years from now, I think you're going to be really grateful. Time will tell. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe for more content like this and to follow the journey. Actually, wait. Okay. This is kind of symbolic too, because I first started creating content in this space, and this is actually the last video that I'm making in this space. Me and my girlfriend moved in together recently, and yeah, so all the videos moving forward, I'm going to be shooting from my new apartment, which is going to be super sick. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.